That's right, it is a crypto emergency. We're going to give you something a little bit different that many other channels are not. We're going to break down why I am extremely bullish on Bitcoin and the wider cryptocurrency market for this week. There is so much stuff going on that people aren't covering, but you guys need to be aware, whether it's about exchange volumes, whether it's a big Ethereum buy, or more importantly, Michael Saylor once again is going bullish on BTC. I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, check out those links in the description if you want to support this work I do here. With that being said, let's get into it. So I'm sure you've seen everybody talking about how cryptocurrency is going to zero. Altcoins are dead and no one seems to be investing in crypto. Well, that simply isn't true. We broke down a couple of key things on my live stream that I want to bring to you right now. There is massive Ethereum news, like I said in the intro, and much more good news coming to this market. So forget all of those people that tell you the market's going to zero. Let's all be a little bit more bullish like Michael Saylor. Orange is my preferred color. He's talking once again, could he be coming in to buy on Monday? Again, at the time you watch this video, we may have even seen another buy from Michael Saylor. He is obviously extremely bullish on this market, and this probably doubles down on the number of altcoin purchases that we are going to see. So this is very much worth watching and seeing what happens. But let's break it down a little bit more. Let's get into a little bit more nuance as why I think we're seeing some uptrends in the market. So this is the short-term holder realized price, i.e. how many of these short-term holders, people that have held Bitcoin or cryptocurrency for a short period of time, are selling. What is it doing to the price, and how directly this influences some of those longer-term holders? Well, what we can deduce here is the fact of the matter is short-term holders are selling. These people that have had crypto less than a year, maybe even less than a couple of months, are simply taking their profits. They may have got in on the previous dip around 70,000, and now they're simply exiting their positions, or as we like to say it in this game, they are being shaken out. This is in stark contrast, however, to the longer term holders. And we can see that chart here. This is the longer term holder supply. What's really interesting about this is when you start to look into where we currently sit. Now, generally speaking, we see pushes to new all-time highs when we see, therefore, dumping in the long-term holder supply. Well, the reality is over the course of the last few months, everything is pretty solid. In fact, over the last 2 weeks, while we've seen this correction in the market, our long-term holders have continued to hold their bags. Now, they can be private investors, strategic funds, sovereign wealth funds, ETFs, whatever you want to call it. The reality is, though, they are not selling. So we absolutely can see short-term holders selling, long-term holders are simply not. And this could be directly equated to the M2, which we've spoke about a number of times here on the channel. We saw a cool off in M2, and now we're starting to see this push back up. The biggest investment in treasury bonds is yet to come. We saw a big sell-off from China back end of last month. But again, we are looking like we are going to have this little cool off that we've had over the course of the last 3 or 4 days. Potentially now we're going to start to move to the upside. This is good news if you ask me. And many people now are keying on the details. MACD, recognizing, monitoring convergence and divergence, is now supporting a upward trend. Dave the Wave, great name, analyst, points out that the Bitcoin's weekly MACD is approaching cross-resistance level that historically signal market peaks. He notes that by this year's end, Bitcoin could be set for a rally towards 160 thanks to a bolstered MACD signal. We'll touch on that in just a minute, but that's not all. We are now seeing Bitcoin on exchanges at a new 7-year low. In fact, we've never had as less on exchanges as we have right now. Currently sitting around 2.158 million Bitcoin. That's down 4,500 on last week. And you can see where it's coming out. Binance, 12,500. Number of different exchanges losing crypto like it is going out of fashion. And then we have things like this. Ethereum's own Saylor, SharpLink Gaming, is now planning $1 billion in Ethereum purchasing. So not only have we got a substantial potential move in Bitcoin, also in altcoins, finally, we might start to get a move. And I think Ethereum is going to be the key to that. A big move in Ethereum could signal a further push in the wider altcoin market. So lots to be bullish on this week, lots to talk about, and certainly lots of things to keep your eyes very much peeled on. Now, great news, Bitcoin's starting to retest that 20-day exponential moving average on the daily chart here, starting to push to the upside, closing out this candle as another green candle. So yes, we saw this pull down here on the daily, but we bounced and looking like we could start to come up. Big indicator here of volume price reactivity, and we're now starting to push. We need to hold this around 105.2 on the daily close with a then push back to the upside. So I think there's lots coming. I think the market's definitely worth keeping an eye on. And certainly if we're seeing Saylor start to buy, I believe, by the way, we're going to see further institutional investment coming into the market. Certainly over the course of this week, we've seen it quiet over the weekends. doubling back on what we saw the back end of last week. You can see there, look, BlackRock buying over 1,100 Bitcoin, Fidelity at 621. So expect them to come back in. We actually saw inflows in Ethereum ETFs for the first time in the longest time. And then also when you take a look at the liquidation map, where are traders signaling their optimism right now? Well, let's look at the week ahead. And the reality is that people believe the market could go down. We are absolutely seeing that if the market pushes down, less liquidations. So what does that normally mean? It normally means the market does the entire opposite. We could see anything at 110,000. You could be talking over $1 billion in short liquidations, which we haven't had for a while. And likewise, when you take a look at what it looks like from the exchange liquidation, particularly when you look at BTC, a hell of a lot here on Binance and Bybit, and lots of people with pretty big leverages right now. So maybe some optimism in the market. What we could see, though, extreme volatility, big price wicks. So get ready and certainly be ready for some severe volatility. But again, I absolutely think the market's going to go up. I think it's going to be a good week, and watch out for those institutional buys coming in very, very soon. As always, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But this is a crypto emergency because we just don't have enough yet. And I think there's more to come. Let me know what you think of all of it in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.